Well, I just went ahead and turned on the stream anyhow.
Okay. Hathy said that she's almost here.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Don't cross them.
Oh, geez, I forgot I had Twitch on in another tab, and I just heard you say the same thing over again.
He's just making sure everybody heard.
Redundant.
Hello?
Hey!
It's
I
the
live.
Effie.
If
And there was...
Pull up the Twitch.
I see a backup game.
You shouldn't see a backup game.
I see a backup game, too.
Oh, well, I was messing around with APIs and it said back up your game. And ain't nobody got time to redo stuff, so...
Agreed.
So, yeah, on that front. Not a ton of API functionality in this session. I know we were talking about red bars being health. I'm probably going to steal whatever Sean's using in Out of the Abyss and have little circle aura bubbles that go from green to, oh my god, I'm almost dead.
And eventually tracking ammo and stuff automatically. So it's not like I have to remember to click it.
Yeah, and speaking of ammo, I have a question. I picked up a stun baton as a melee weapon. That requires batteries according to the thing. Are we going to be doing energy cells for recharging those?
Well, there's
Yeah.
batteries on the list of things you could get.
Is there?
Yeah.
You say battery, I say small energy cell. You can mix and match.
Gear and crafting materials.
I'm pretty sure I did everything right when it came to gear. He
Mhm.
has... Because he doesn't need armor. He has, like,
I am here.
Yay!
as many toolkits as he could possibly get. So, he has all the tool things.
Yeah, you're very tooly.
Yes.
Okay, so
Oh, tool.
clarification on the battery cost. Is that 30 caps for a single battery?
Indeed.
Ooh, that's rough. Okay.
Welcome to Fallout,
Yeah, I know.
where the world doesn't want you to live.
Good thing you're not alive.
Well, feel free if you guys have questions or anything else to start out, because this is, while this is technically session 1, it's going to be a getting to know you kind of intro to the world session too, so.
Getting to know you.
Already the singing.
You have no idea what you've signed up for bringing me on.
Now, is this Anders or is that Ben?
Oh, that's Ben.
So I spent some time looking over some of the backstories that you guys have, and it seems like the only real, like, how I got here kind of stuff was mostly related to, like, I just happened upon this group of guys, please don't kill me, get me killed, or, general gist like that. So do any of
It
you...
was slightly different for 1218. I didn't have a chance to finish writing it out. I'll get that up
That's
as soon
cool.
as I can. But pretty much I see it more like him begrudgingly being like, they're gonna die. And I have to make that not happen. So
That's cool.
he just kind of followed them around because humans can't take care of themselves.
Oh my god, I have the exact same reason for joining this group.
For Bishop, this is kind of an in-between kind of gig between deliveries. He just made a delivery to this area. Guns and ammunition. And was like, okay, well, I got nothing else to do right now. Word hasn't come through that I need to make any other deliveries. Let's see what trouble I can get into.
Yeah, but pretty much for 1218, he has mostly like the tools and stuff that could be used to repair something, regardless of what it is. Like he doesn't have like pottery tools because that's not going to repair a broken pot. That's just like making creativity. He's not very creative, so I'm figuring you guys, like, because you guys have to sleep 8 hours or whatever. He only has to kind of like chill out for 4. You guys might be waking up and finding something of yours fixed. Like if you had a hole in a shirt, he stitched it back together. You know, just like
Now,
constantly fixing stuff.
I have a question, because the viewers probably can't see your awesome face, but they will when I switch the overlay. Do you have
Okay.
that whole face on? Like, are they waking up in the morning to you fixing it with that face? Because that's amazing.
Probably, because he does have. I did like in the modification. He has the holo projector, so he can pretty much make his face look like whatever he wants. And I also added torch because I realized I can't add and had some extra things. So his whole face could turn into a torch, or like just a giant flashlight if need be, which I just thought was funny. So he has a lamp for a head, flash TV for a head.
It's great.
Mostly.
That's going to be very annoying.
Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't,
Just
like,
Put
thank
him
you
up
for-
front and he'll walk.
thank you
And
for
he will-
doing the tokens, by the way. They turned out really
No
nice
problem.
on the
Oh
overlay.
yeah, these are beautiful.
Mhm.
So that begs the question: did you pick up thieves' tools, or did anyone pick up thieves' tools?
He did not
I
pick up
am
these
the
tools.
sneaky beaky.
The sneaky beaky.
Yeah, I took
Yeah.
I took expertise in stealth and all that jazz.
Ah, I see.
Because he even has first aid kits to help you, because humans need to be repaired too sometimes. And I think
Probably
the only
more people
one
do.
that's not technically a repair thing are the wood carving tools, but we could, that's like, if need. Because he has carpenter's tools as well, but the wood carving tools look like they would come in handy for like smaller things if need be at any given time.
If somebody breaks their wooden stock,
You know what? I'll actually pick up the brewer's tools then. I just thought of a reason as to why that could be used. Distillation of spirits.
He has lots of duct tape
Molotovs.
and wonder glue, because that sounded like stuff that could be useful. And a whole bunch of bullets. I was tracking weight with everything. I forget if you said that was necessary. And we don't keep any of the extra caps, right?
Only the
The
ones that you
360?
get.
The 650, whatever that was.
Yeah, the
Correct.
650, no.
'Cause I think he had like 50 left over, and I'm like, I don't know what else. at
Buy
this point.
more. Buy more.
Yeah. Buy more stuff.
Buy more
Clearly, you've
stuff.
never worked for a government agency where it's like, you have this budget, and if you don't spend it, we cut it.
It's like that one episode of The Office.
Okay, so
Hey guys, I have like 100 caps and glue. Do you need that?
let me see.
splendid.
I literally have 50 left. Let's see what else I can throw in
Is
there.
that the cough that happens after you huff all of the glue that gets bought in that stuff?
Sure it is, but in my case, I'm just sick.
Yeah, the weather changed real fast here too. It was like 80 one day, and then the next morning it was literally 45.
I'm so happy. It was absurdly warm.
Because it did look like Wonder Glue did not have a description, but I'm guessing it's super glue, essentially. Or is it something else?
I feel
Yeah.
great about that. This is one of those, our battery small energy cells
Okay.
that I feel pretty good about.
Because you can't go wrong with duct tape and super glue. So,
Alrighty.
more zip ties.
So
How many
Always
uses
use
does
Those
the
are
lighter
usually-
have?
What?
How many uses does the lighter have?
Hmm. It's a really tough economic question.
Because
fuel's
is it
fuel's
like
a depleted resource in the area.
right? So is it like a butane lighter, or is it like a Zippo lighter where you have to refill it with oil or lighter fluid?
Yeah, I don't have an answer for that. Lighters exist. I mean, you can get oil, and I mean, you can light oil. I'm sure that's safe. You know, legitimately, I don't have a very clear answer for that because I am not that neck deep into the economics yet. I mean, okay. If you guys looked at the chem sheets, I broke down caps-wise the chem sheets based on food and average irradiation levels and how much it would cost to feasibly not die from radiation if you had to eat irradiated stuff and drink irradiated stuff forever, and balance it that way. So if you ask about chems, I feel good about those answers.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So I think you probably should be able to see the change for the overlay, hopefully, on the stream. The Discord part will be changing once we are able to adapt it to your giant icons, where you can see Athy's happy face on 1218. And everybody's happy face. Alright. Let's see. Does anybody have any other like character-related questions or concerns before we get started? Any last-minute spending?
Since he brought up food is 5 to 10 caps, like for the pure stuff. How do you determine how much something costs? Like within that range.
Is it fancy or is it paste?
Well, let's use the field rations MREs, for example.
Those are more expensive because they're more travelable. And
okay, so those would be on the 10 cap range.
And then we allotted the cost of that is the assumption of you need 3 water and 2 food a day. That suffices for all of those things. It is more expensive because it is mobile.
Oof.
Yeah, I've been living off dirty water and Blamco mac and cheese for 40 years. I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't still have functioning organs. Yeah.
That's one way to diet.
I guess that does want me to make sure that I, as a ghoul, do not suffer any radiation poisoning, period, correct? Is that true?
Yeah, I feel, yep. I mean, we're at the, did you walk into a vat of waste? Then you might have a problem.
Yeah, but if I just go for a fucking swim in the lake, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Because I'm going swimming.
I'm 100% sure if you go swimming in a lake, you will absolutely be fine.
Speaking
That
of...
sounds a little sarcastic.
As far as water goes.
As far as the irradiated water goes, yeah.
I'm sure there's nothing in there.
Nah.
This is why 1218 is following you people.
Well, I mean, of course there's nothing in there. That's kind of how Fallout works.
I would imagine that...
Get far enough away from the shore, there's not going to be anything like Mirelurks.
Nope.
It's just empty, open water.
You know what's great about having this area be where we are is that it's just so untapped in terms of lore, so we can create all sorts of terrifying, I mean, cuddly, sweet things that are found in the area.
Nice.
God damn, we're all gonna get eaten.
Woo! Maybe just nibbled. I mean, if you just taste like mac and cheese, no one's gonna want to.
Irradiated mac and cheese.
I have to ask, did you, is that your artwork or for your character?
Me, I used a web program called Hero Machine.
Oh, okay, yeah. Interesting. He's very creepy.
Yeah, sure is.
Alrighty. So, I don't know if you guys can all hear the subtle music in the background. I have it muted, I think. There we go.
Ditto.
But I did change it off the one loop. That was really cool in the beginning, and then got real old real fast on Roll20. But I found some stuff in Fanburst that should hopefully make do until our DJ makes an official appearance. So if it gets too loud or too annoying, feel free to mute it or say, Sin, please fucking turn it down.
Cool.
Let's see here. Alright, so some of you, I've been talking back and forth with all of you as we're kind of going through this very, very test game almost of this, because the rules are there, but we've been modifying heavily some of it, and you guys have been really great about going back and forth and asking smart questions and kind of working with it. So this is a trial run of that, but also the start to the campaign of the Burning Winds. Yay, squee!
Woo-hoo.
And there is much rejoicing. Yay.
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 Huzzah!
The area where this takes place and the timeline where it takes place is the year is 2280. It is just before, if you're familiar with the Fallout. If you're familiar with the Fallout universe, it is just before the New Vegas game. Right in between the big battles for the Hoover Dam. So that's kind of what's going on in the Fallout lore right around this time is NCR is fighting the Legion down near Vegas for possession of the Hoover Dam area. The First War really kind of ravaged both sides, but the NCR kind of won out there and are holding on, some would say rather strongly, some would say by a thin thread. But the NCR has, as far as most people would say, has persevered and is kind of trying to spread out. They're also trying to hold on to the Hoover Dam area and ready themselves for what they see as an inevitable second battle to make sure that they hold that position. But they're also spending resources going up the mountain range on the west coast, trying to secure new trade routes and kind of expand their reach. Word has gotten to the NCR that there is a very well-positioned town that they might be interested in either, using or occupying in the near future. And a rather large outpost has been set up near what you guys would kind of know as present-day, Crater Lake area in Oregon. And that's kind of near where you guys find yourselves. The NCR... hold on, let me pull up something. The NCR outpost that's over there is called Union Creek. And as far as the backstories go, I'm going to take some liberties with it, and if you guys want to correct something or jump in, feel free. But from what I imagine, I would guess that Bishop, you probably followed the NCR out there, or at least with the gun runners, followed the NCR out there, and are all about kind of establishing some new trade areas. There's been rumors of a really great scrapyard that's relatively untapped, right somewhere around here. You're not quite sure where. Areas largely unmapped. A lot of stuff is rumors. There's a lot of, backcountry kind of people out here. It's a lot more spread out. There's a lot of strange geographic kind of things going on. There's certain areas that are very strangely lush and green. Certain areas right even almost across the street that are very dry and desert-like. So you get a crazy mix where this is. In addition to the crazy kind of things that are going on the ground, the weather patterns are also very strange the further up north you go. This is also something that you'd notice, Bishop, being at the NCR outpost, and probably, I'd imagine, Liam with the NCR as well. You guys would notice that the NCR was largely unprepared for this kind of weather. They weren't really ready for the torrential downpours that occasionally happen. There's known for sandstorms, in the same day as torrential downpours. So it's a very strange kind of weather mix up here. It's also obviously right along the mountain range, which has been broken up by the nuclear blasts in strange ways. Near this outpost, that somewhere nearby there was a dormant volcano prior to the explosions. And after that, no one's really explored the area because of the the dangers that are around there. But they know that the volcano went off because there's ash and rock and things like that regularly blow through the Union Creek outpost. As far as the NCR outpost goes, I imagine Bishop and Liam, you guys were told of this other ample trading town named Withervale, and are likely on the road as emissaries, as traveling companions, what have you. And you're on your way to kind of check that place out. You've heard it's about a day's walk. If you follow the main road, the advice from the NCR guards are it's mostly safe if you follow the main road. If you stray too far from that, there's rumors of crazy beasts, crazy weather, and they just say stay to the road. But you two have intel that in between Union Creek and Withervale is some untapped scrapyard. No one's gotten close. You don't have a map detailed, but it's not on the main road. So, you have the option to kind of take that shortcut, or you're kind of maybe looking. You guys are heading north and west in the direction of Withervale. If you guys, I don't have a full map for you just yet, but if you guys want to follow along on like a Google map or something like that, the roads are very similar still, albeit broken down and occasionally covered in debris and plant life and whatnot. But the NCR Union Creek is on 97, and you guys are heading towards, in between Mount Thielsen and Mount Bailey is where the town of Withervale has positioned itself. It saw it as a good as a good place to protect and to kind of be as a go-between for the north area and trade routes going south. So you guys are heading north on 97. I imagine the other three, 1218, Anders, Ethan, you all seem like adventurers in one sense or another. And you all either together or finding yourself together at this place are finding yourself off of the path of 97, kind of searching around for that scrapyard. You all are seasoned people. You're smart adventurers, smart non-people. And you're searching for kind of, any kind of scraps you can get, old world tech, cool food sources, water sources, things like that. The greenery around here, it could be profitable if you find it. And if you're the first one to find it, you get first pickings. So whether you guys met up beforehand or find yourselves all kind of searching that area, we are going to change the map here and show you guys kind of whereabouts ya are. All
I just want
right.
to confirm you guys are seeing tokens on screen.
Nope.
Not
No
on
tokens,
the-
but a map.
Not on the news screen.
Why are you not layering the token layer?
I see
Is
the
the
map.
map on the map layer?
I see our tokens on the Twitch screen on a different layer.
That makes sense because of that. So let's do and okay, then we'll just turn off Fog of War because that's cool. Boop.
Hey, I see your tokens.
All right. So feel free to. You can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, sorry. All right. So feel free to position yourselves as you would. But Bishop and Liam, you guys are kind of following the road, and then Ethan, Anders, and 1218, you guys kind of find yourselves coming up from the bottom of the map and anywhere along there that you see fit. And are you guys, would you imagine that the three of you would kind of find yourselves together?
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you guys are kind of searching through stuff together, you three start to hear what is unfortunately a very familiar sound to you. You hear just dry earth crumbles coming up behind you, and you hear wind and things start to pick up, and you hear skittering coming up and the earth moving. As you start to see something come up through the ground. Something with big pinchers.
Oh, dandy.
Heavy sigh. Full pistol.
And we're gonna need to have a roll. A special roll. For special things. And as you guys see this scorpion come up out of the ground, you hear that familiar chittering as it notices you and starts to give chase, and the winds pick up and start whipping around, making it a little harder to see. The road ahead looks fairly clear, though.
Oof.
Yeah, so... Ooh.
So is it just those three that need to roll into initiative right now?
And you guys can see, Liam and Bishop, you guys can see three people running towards the road, or starting to. They're clearly running from something, but you can't quite see what, because the wind has started to kick up dust and rocks and start swaying the nearby bushes. But you can see somebody, and you kind of putting two together that it's probably not good for them. Do you want to get involved?
Gonna look at Liam. You're the NCR here.
Oh,
I
but you're
just
my
run
guy.
guns.
Well, are they bandits or not?
What do you guys look like, you three? Anders, Ethan, 1218. Do you look like bandits?
Not particularly. Not covered in blood and whips, or, and,
What was your self-description? Sneaky sneak?
I mean, he's, pretty much exactly like the fucking picture. Hold on. Let me get a good description. Tell you a good description of him. Just, like, he's got, like, leather coat, like, he's scraggly, definitely, but he looks, like, put together.
I feel like we might, for me, have the opportunity for a misunderstanding because I'm a ghoul covered in leather armor, and I would probably be behind them.
Okay, like a
So that might be an issue for me.
behind them, like
If we're all running towards the road, I would probably be in the back.
trying to protect them or trying to
Yeah.
combat whatever
Yeah.
is coming up. Okay.
In 1218 very clearly has a television for a head, so you can make of that what you will. So
So we got a ghoul chasing a human and a human chasing a robot.
That doesn't happen very
Standard
often.
day.
Let's go
Kind
have
of
a
a
look.
Benny Hill situation.
Yeah. Shoot first, ask questions later.
Yeah, I'd prefer not to shoot first. Never know. Less bandages I have to deal with.
I suppose you're right, but still.
Oh, keep your gun out.
And I'll unsling the rifle that I have on my back. Just kind of keep it at the ready.
All right. Absolutely. You guys, I just want to confirm that you guys can see this yellow aura that's now showing up on the screen.
Yes.
Can.
Excellent. I will keep expanding it, but basically it's covering, this will be the end of the radius. Imagine that there is still more map down. You can pretend that there is still more map there. So as Desmond, I'm sorry, Bishop unsheaths his rifle and keeps it square, this Radscorpion is taking some time unburrowing. And he does close the gap here, but he's unable to deliver some of those patented pinchers from his two giant claws to either Anders or Ethan. Anders.
Me?
or is it?
Yes.
No, it's 1218.
Or is it 12? I'm seeing Anders at 11:13, and I'm seeing a 12:18 at 10:14.
I'm seeing
Anders at 3.
3.31. Or
Yeah.
3.1.
I see 2
313.
Anders.
I
Oh,
see 2 Anders.
that's an issue.
Oh,
I made an initiative roll earlier just to test it out.
So did
Delete
Bishop.
11.13.
And if you see one as a 19.14 for Bishop, delete that as well.
Our bad. Apologies.
I really think it's very annoying that it keeps that on the DM's initiative tracker whenever you switch between map layers.
Anders as a clown.
Yeah. So
Wonders.
Liam and Bishop, if you guys can add to the initiative, you may not necessarily act, but go ahead and add yourselves. And we do know what Bishop is doing, so that will bring us to 12:18.
Okay, so it has 2 revolvers that it is drawing from hip holsters. It's like sort of wearing clothes, but it's mostly just like large packs and the hip holsters. And it's gonna turn around and fire at the Radscorpion. And guns work the same way. Offhand, I have them set up like it would normally be.
Yeah, so your offhand will not have a modifier.
Okay. So
And they both gotta be light, blah da 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 da.
blah 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 blah. Okay. Good. Offhand gun, not so much.
Alright.
And it's not moving. He stops and is going to focus on this and just gesturing that Ethan and Anders keep going. Guns out.
All right. As you layer in your 2 shots, you see the first hit the Radscorpion. It was a piece of metal, and it definitely connected with some part of the shell. But it seems to just make the Radscorpion angry, as opposed to impede it in any way, shape, or form. And I didn't know that robots were hand favored, but your other hand is just way off. As the winds start to pick up, Ethan, what do you do? And you're muted. Peyton, you're muted on Discord.
Oh, my mic was muted. Look at that. So am I within melee range then?
Yes. Yeah, that's gonna be 5. This should tile out to 5 feet.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
they are
is.
5
Mhm. Yeah, I was. Yeah. Yep. All right. So in that case, Ethan is going to draw his machete and take a chop at it. .22 hit.
So you're definitely putting the machete onto the Radscorpion. Let's see if it goes into the Radscorpion.
6 damage.
Still, mildly aggravated. The Radscorpion looks like it's going to turn towards you next. In this certain situation, this in-close metal seems to be doing a lot more attention grabbing than the faraway metal.
Damn it, meatbag! I told you to run.
Couldn't very well do that.
Meat bag.
So, do you think that the robot was trying to shoot the ghoul?
You guys can hear all this, by the way.
And Ethan, does that leave anything else for you? Are you making a break for it?
Yeah, we're gonna try and get out of there. Hope for the best. So yeah, attack of opportunity, and I'm gonna try and run away. I get it there.
All right. As you step away, the Radscorpion is still kind of in that process of unburrowing.
Oh, and sorry, its attack of opportunity would be with disadvantage if it makes one.
Yeah, absolutely.
'Cause it's fast hero.
Oh, that's a thing because of the class that you are?
Oh yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Radscorpion here is going to try to get you with some pinchers here. Oh, buddy.
14.
14 is my AC. I don't quite remember the rules for that.
If it meets, it beats.
Alright. Oh, that's a good way to.
Yeah. So it would be a 14. But these winds seem to be disrupting some of the vision and mobility in this area. So that is making some vague adjustment, and this Radscorpion just can't quite grasp onto you.
Alrighty.
Anders, as you see the meatbag take off.
I'll run when I damn well please, you pile of scrap. Nine to hit.
Like, this is why you're already dead.
That's offensive.
I'm sure if the Radscorpion could laugh, it would. But at this point, it is not.
Yeah, and I stay put, by the way.
It's definitely not laughing. Torn between two targets, it's going to choose... Ooh, let's not do that all over again. It's going to choose the one that kind of looks alive a little. And make a nice little pinch at you. 19, I'm assuming it's going to be good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so you are grappled, which just means that you have no movement. You'll take 5 there. And he does have 2 claws. So...
Oh, no!
The other one is a super claw, apparently.
Oh, no, I'm unconscious.
Ooh.
And as he gets you with the second pincher, as much as 1218 is not alive looking, looks like this Radscorpion understands that it's a threat. And then, Liam, before I have you act, I'm going to have everybody in the sandstorm make a con save.
Including me?
Yes.
He fails automatically.
Well, you nailed it, buddy. All right. Ethan and 1218. You're starting to get some of that sand coming towards your eyes.
I
Ethan,
don't have eyes.
Ethan,
Your optical sensors.
Wherever they are.
yes, I will go with optical sensors. Maybe your hologram isn't quite spitting out the space that it's supposed to. Your optical sensors might have gotten cloudy, but you kind of shift your body. Ethan, this is not a thing that, you've seen this before. It's sand. It blows around. You shield your eyes.
It's rough and coarse and it gets everywhere.
And the Radscorpion seems to be having some issues with the cloud. The sand's starting to kind of lift up its claws. Doesn't look like it's going to be as pinchable as it was before. Liam, there's a ghoul, kind of, maybe, or a suit of leather armor that's just moving on its own, and a Radscorpion pinched it twice.
My sound drop. Well, I guess that answers my question. Cover me, and I start running towards the leather armor that's walking, or used to walk. And that's it.
All right. Liam braves the storm. 1218.
Is he still being held by the...
No. The Radscorpion, it seems after he did the double pinches with Anders, that sandstorm moving around kind of threw him off. And he didn't keep his hold on Anders. Just wanted to keep his hold on the ground instead.
So he's going to grab Anders and dash... this is towards Ethan, because Ethan's his current bro. Just rush. Where it is 60 feet. We could get, just kind of go, and maybe just like grab Ethan and just pull them towards the edge of the, just out that way. Go. direction. I don't know if he could actually like grab hold of Ethan on the way, but just try to get them out.
I mean, you can definitely drag Anders.
If
I'm
you
good
would,
with that. I don't know if you can get dragging Ethan might be an issue. A, that's a lot of extra weight, and B, he's upright.
well, no, just like grab him by the arm as they're going, like go.
Yeah, you could definitely indicate
Guide
that to
him out, like guide him out, I guess.
Okay.
Ethan would
This
comply if that's what.
Run, like just go.
And he'll definitely be able to move on his turn for sure.
Yep.
And
So
that
he could get there-ish, I think. Double check that real quick. Yeah.
all right. We'll take your little buddy with you. Anything else on this round?
Nope.
All right, Bishop. You see Liam go into the storm, and then you see leather armor and a robot come out of it.
So Bishop is going to move.
Real quick question, like in the storm, it's like hard to see. Like would 12, 18 have noticed somebody coming running in, or is it too cloudy?
It's not dense. You definitely would have seen someone come in or
Okay.
something, a humanoid figure.
Okay.
Yeah, Bishop is going to move his 30 feet there. And just want to check. Yeah, and I'm going to bonus action for Liam, give him inspiration. Basically, he's going to go. Just don't die in there. We need you alive. So, Liam, you have inspiration, which means within the next 10 minutes you can roll a d6 and add it to attack roll, ability check, or saving throw.
I already had inspiration.
You have hero based. Can you?
Yeah.
Do you have the text dump?
There's a difference between DM inspiration and Bard inspiration, right?
Yes.
So Bishop's inspiration feels a lot less metagamey and feels a lot more like he's trying to actually get you to do something, as you can see through that long time stump there. Whereas my inspiration will feel much more heavy-handed. So obviously we'll reward inspiration on appropriate role-playing and genuine moments, whereas Bishop can just throw it around willy-nilly. They also functionally are different.
You feel emotionally emboldened.
That's a much better description. Bishop, that is your bonus. That is some movement. Do we have a flat action? We're going to put a pin in that. And we're going to move on down to Ethan, who has pulled out a little bit of the storm, seen some people come out, seen some people go in.
Sorry, had to grab stuff. As far as my action, it's going to be a held action. If the Radscorpion starts moving towards Liam, I'll take a shot.
Okay. Then, yeah, Ethan.
Alrighty. So how far in the sandstorm can I see approximately? Like, would I be able to still see the Radscorpion?
Yeah, you can definitely see what figures are. You can definitely tell that is a humanoid figure. And you can definitely tell that this has 8 legs, 2 pinchers.
Alright. So... what's the range on this? Alright. Ethan is going to quickly just put the machete into his offhand and then draw his revolver to fire it at the Radscorpion.
Okay. Take that pot shot.
24.
Dude, seriously.
8. 7.
And this one does seem to go through a couple of the outside platings. It's definitely infuriated and borderline raging towards you at this point. It's definitely fixated.
Alrighty. That's gonna be another 35 feet backwards.
Alright.
And that's the turn.
Anders,
Yes.
stop bleeding.
Is this a death save?
Yes, please.
Oh.
At least it wasn't a 1.
Regretting not turning on stream store stuff.
All right. So, Anders, as you lay unconscious, if you were able to hear, you would hear the sounds of winds. As the winds start sliding away, and I don't have a way to move that all the way off, so we'll just reduce the radius. As the winds significantly shift towards the southeast. This would be about the area of effect of them. So you guys see a very clear area. As this starts to clear out just a little bit. But that doesn't seem to shake the Radscorpion with the moving of the winds. He's going to charge forward. And he gets to right about here. As you see more things kind of skitter and scurry out of the ground. All of them immediately looking towards this scorpion. But one making a bite. As that one tries to take its bite and misses, the other two are actually, to give you guys an actual idea of it, they're literally at the exact same turn point. So the other two will also bite at this Radscorpion. And the one on the left manages to grab him. So as Ethan, as you're pulling out and you're seeing these winds go down, the Radscorpion is chasing you for dear life. And you see 3 ants cutting off its path. The trembles of all 3 of your bodies didn't seem to stir them. But the Radscorpion with its bulk definitely has. That's a lot of health bar. There we go. So it's going to have to make its claws at the one next to it. And you see the ant on the left, on the west of the screen, and this Radscorpion pinchering each other, stopping each other from moving. Liam.
Fuck me. This was dumb. This was dumb. Running away. Oh, bloody hell. They moved over there. And I'll finish my run their direction. Hey, wait! I'm trying to help!
Looks like everybody's favorite friendly robot is going to be the first to respond to Liam's cries for, "Oh, wait, I'm helping."
Well, you're not doing a very good job. Okay, question. With the first aid kit, do I have to roll to stabilize still, or does that automatically mean to stabilize?
Expending a charge of the kit is an action and a auto stabilize.
And he will do that for Anders. How many charges does it have?
I'm gonna say 3 for now.
Okay.
And if it was 5, we will up it later.
Yeah,
also-
standard player's handbook, the healer's kit is 10.
Then
So
we'll go for
if you wanna
5 and
reduce
we'll
it,
adjust
yeah.
it later.
Okay.
Also, Ethan and 1218, as you see these giant ants spit up around this Radscorpion, can you guys give me a perception check?
Ooh. Sorry, I was editing.
1218 and
Okay.
Okay. So 1218, we have stabilize Leatherface, and are we? What do any other actions?
This is like a fence thing, right? Is it toppled over?
Yeah. Yep.
I think he'll just, if he's able, try to just kind of like pull him behind it. It's not a lot of cover, but it's better than having him like way right out there. Just kind of like pull him behind this shitty fence over here.
All right. And your what are you yelling at Anders as you're putting him with like wrapping him up?
Pretty much like, this is exactly why you're already dead. This is not helping. This is why I'm just general bitching.
Anders can't respond, but he's so upset with you.
Alright. That brings out 1218. Mr. Bishop.
Unaware of him bitching, so be upset.
So Bishop is going to move up closer to Liam, backing him up like he would be. Liam, slow down. We don't know what they're doing out here. Could be bandits. They don't appear to be bandits, but they still could be bandits. And we're outnumbered. Well, not really now that not sorry, I'm brain farting so hard right now. Well, it doesn't matter. Just be careful. And held action will still be to take a shot if anybody is aggressive towards Liam.
Alright. Ethan.
Ethan is going to yeah. Yeah. Take another shot at the Radscorpion. This is a revolver. $16.
Yeah, you definitely plink. You can't tell if the giant ant or if that Radscorpion, if one of them was holding the other in place. But it definitely you seem to be striking true to this Radscorpion.
Alrighty.
Can you give me another perception check?
Open.
Awesome.
A whopping 9.
All right. Any other actions, etc.?
He'll hold his ground for now.
Okay. As you take this shot, maybe it's the way that you're standing, with your, like maybe you're sinking in to get these good accurate shots. The sound from your gun and the kind of vibrations that it's giving off, you start to hear some skitter in the background. Less large, but more of them. And these guys are acting separately from the other group. Also, I want to thank you, either those who are watching the stream, or paying attention, or not paying attention to it, however it is. I had both of these on the GM layer on accident, in the visible part of the stream. So I just want to say thank you for not spoiling it, guys.
We'll fix next time.
Pinky promise. Ethan, 2 of them seem to be stuck on getting you stuck.
Damn vomits.
Yes, so that's going to be... I'm assuming, 23, 68, so
Yeah.
8. And the next one over, if I can actually get it to roll. Oh, does a 16 do?
It hits and I am unconscious.
All right. All right. This giant ant is moving in this direction. Are there any triggered effects that would...
Not unless if it's going to be attacking Liam.
Okay, it's definitely attacking Liam.
Then yes, that would trigger my held action. So, Cowboy Repeater.
Alright, so that... seems like your quick reaction time serves you well in this instance. Putting this ant down and out as it tries to close the gap with Liam.
Watch your sides. Don't know how many more there are.
The second one is going to kind of stare at the robot. Try to give it a little poke.
Nope.
Just doesn't understand how it moves. It's not, living. And then at the top of the round. All right, that storm is gone. This guy's pinching around. You guys see in the corner of your eye, although I'm sure you now have a lot more going on, the Radscorpion and the giant ants battling it out down there. Anders is stabilized, which brings us to Liam.
Ah, great shooting, Bishop. But still, I gotta do my job. Is that a fence blocking me, or do I have to get around it somehow?
So that fence that 1218 has pulled Anders behind, that shitty fence to protect him, is a shitty fence. So you've got pretty good access.
Here, let me help him. And I grab my healer's kit, and I attempt to give him some hit points. Yeah, I just spent a use of it. And
You can, it's probably feat related, so you can just do the manual roll,
Alright.
and then we can figure out something prettier, more efficient. I don't know. However it wants to be done. And now, is that a class thing, or is that a
Feet. Healer.
ooh? All right. So that'll put, yeah, Anders right back up.
Ah, shit, this hurts.
We can tell that's a lot of icons on your token.
Did I put all those there?
I know I use 0 on my mute function, and whenever I push 0 and I'm on a token, it spams all of the icons. So Liam, as you bandage him up, he seems to immediately wake up, and look to become active again. Do you have anything else you're doing on this round?
Nope, that's my action. Oh. Yeah. I'm gonna use my, No, can't. That's an action. No, bonus action. Helpful. I'm going to, pat the ghoul on the back. Get back in the fight, lad. Get back in the fight.
I'm sorry, did you just pet me?
You're on the ground! Of course I did. But you have advantage on your next action.
Oh, well, alright.
So well explained. How can you argue?
I'll allow it this time.
Bishop, as you see Liam stride forward, bring someone back up, and then do something like what you did, kind of. What do you do?
Let's see. Yeah, that's direct line of sight. Because those 2 ants took down the other human. So I'm going to take a shot for that one. With the cowboy repeater.
Can you point at which one you were targeting again?
The one furthest north.
Damn. It's a little bit
Threading the
long.
bullet.
It goes near 1218. You guys can work that one out later. But it does strike true into this ant.
And then I will see. 1, 2, 4. Yeah, I'll move there. They'll keep in my distance. And that'll be my turn.
All right. So 12-18, you see someone close the gap, take a shot at maybe you, and then hit an ant behind you.
Just sort of shoots him, like the face on the on his screen just kind of gets this very like glare expression, then turns back this way, and he's at first going to ignore the ant by him. Like Ethan's down, right?
Yeah, currently.
Like
Yeah.
he's laying down, so he's gonna shoot at that one by Ethan. Maybe.
Shooting at the one by Ethan.
Yes.
While the ant next to you is currently kind of all up in your grill. Yes, that does. Yes, that does go home and strike true, removing this ant.
Then
Also.
with this all-path one, it'll be at disadvantage, but he'll try to shoot at the one, like, coming up on his leg. Nope! Not at all. And... yeah, he's gonna stay where he is. Keep his eye on these two.
All right. You're keeping the eye out. Also, you've been watching out for Ethan, who is currently, not dying.
Hopefully.
Go ahead and
That's
make your
it.
death save.
16. Ooh.
All right. So you're laying there on the ground. Everybody's looking over. Nobody knows how you're doing. But it's totally fine, I'm sure. This ant does recognize 12-18 that you tried to bite him in the face. Or shoot him in the face. And he decides to bite you in what could have been your face, maybe?
If he manages to find a TV, sure. I have to make what?
There's no check, so it's just a flat. I mean, it's a crit, so it's going to be 8 and then grappled.
8 is him going down.
Okay, I imagine this ant seeing the face change when you glance at Bishop for a second, and it tries to go up towards that, but instead just disconnects a power line on accident.
So his TV goes blank.
Yeah.
All over.
Anders.
Well, that ant just bit my sort of friend, so I'm going to shoot it.
That's always what you should do when something bites your sort of friend. You should always shoot it.
That's a
And get
crit.
See, I was worried about like all of these ridiculous crits that have been happening, but like it's fine because you guys have them too. Roll20 is just loaded today.
The dice giveth and the dice taketh away.
So yeah, as you, I'm assuming, stand up first.
Yeah, let's say that.
Tell me how you blow through this ant.
Oh, just straight in the eyeball. Just don't you bite my friends.
I'm sorry, I'll never do it. As
Did anybody else hear that ant talk?
I can't believe it.
it's unison crazy.
Leave it to you guys to destroy the one, like, sentient talking ant. You'll never know.
It was a bad ant. Bad ant.
As that comes around, you guys can see some duking out going on down below. As the ants and the scorpion are still going at it, both of them looking pretty tired. Liam.
Not another one. And I run over to Ethan, even though I don't know who the hell he is, but he's down. And I'm going to use my feet again to try and stabilize him.
You're going to stabilize him with your feet? That's gross, dude.
They're special feet.
Ew.
And I think I'm going to use that inspiration.
Yeah. If it's the feet, isn't it an auto?
Let's
He
see,
says when I
healers.
use it.
When you use your healer's kit to stabilize a dying creature, that creature also regains 1 hit point. As an action, you can spend 1 use of the healer's kit to tend to a creature and restore 1d6 plus 4, plus the additional hit points equal to the creature's maximum number of hit die. Can't regain hit points from this feat again until it finishes a rest. So if he is stabilizing, Ethan gets 1 hit point.
Okay.
I don't
Sorry.
know if I had to make a roll or something. I know it's automatic.
Double nice. All right. So Ethan is waking up a little bit.
Maybe we should get out of here.
Yeah, that seemed to be the best option.
Couldn't agree more. Last thing we need is that storm rolling back through.
Yeah, I'm okay fucking off.
Oh. All right. So we see Liam get somebody back up. Sorry, not somebody. Ethan. Because we got to use your names or we will forget them. Bishop, anything? What are we doing?
I think the general consensus is that we were leaving. Let the ants and the scorpion do their own fighting. It's a dog-eat-dog world and all that. So he'll start moving up the road.
Okay.
And just in the event that the Radscorpion or the ants start moving towards us again, the held action will be to shoot at them. If either of those 3 creatures get free. But yeah, that'll be my turn.
All right. 12-18. All right. Awesome. 12-18's internal repair mechanisms seem to, start working a little bit. I do understand that we're starting to move a little bit to the north and to the west. Just need to play out a little bit on this end to make sure with everything that's going on. So Ethan.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the stranger. We roughly, yeah. There-ish. and hold an action to shoot if either of the bugs start coming towards us.
All right. Which brings us over to Anders.
Theoretical question. I have mechanics tools in my pack. Would I be able to stabilize a robot using my tools?
Them's are the rules. Yes, he can't benefit from any like medical stuff you need, repair kits and such.
Yep.
So I can stabilize? Alright, we use my action to stabilize.
All right, and that will be a Arcana or tools using your intelligence modifier, and you have to beat a 10, just like with a healer's kit.
Wait, no, hold on. That was with strength.
Forcing it back together.
It's the only way I know how to do it. Oh, yeah.
All right. As you shove the parts of 1218 back together, literally.
Pretty much.
Does a crit give 1 hit point, or is that something else I'm thinking of?
Crit on death save.
Okay.
This Radscorpion does succumb to the events of these ants, who do start moving up and forward. This one's moving up to here.
Yep. It's going to take a shot. Where is that one?
Okay. Oh. Okay. Yes, that's a hit. And that'll be good. Sorry, just noticed something that I should have caught on the first sheet scan.
If that's moving towards us, may I take my
Please do.
held action?
I'm sure you guys have had enough.
No, keep holding on to it.
23. 14. Damage. Damn.
Good hit, by the way.
Even that will put a little damper on it. This other one starts to move forward, and then kind of burrows into the sand, and then you see it, and then you don't see it. Those kind of things following around in concordance. Red X is not good. We're going to put a snail sign on that because he's burrowed. So as you guys see the last ant disappear, are there any immediate things, words, questions? What happens after 18 seconds of, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god?
Well, hi there.
Yeah. Just howdy.
Thank you.
Yes, you're lucky we came by this way at the same time.
Yeah, indeed.
Now,
Oh, well.
you're not
you're,
Brom, are you?
And that robot's not going to get up and try to kill us either, is it?
Not if I put everything back together right.
Hmm.
They'll sound hostile, but they aren't quite, actually.
So, who the hell are you?
I thought the uniform gave it away. I'm Lieutenant Liam. This here's a bishop. He's my guide, I guess you could say. Bodyguard. Good shot.
Yeah. I'm a courier with the gun runners.
Ah, there you go.
Gun runners, huh?
Yeah. It pays to know the area. And, since I'm new to the place, I figured I might as well go out and learn. Liam here is, well, We could say he's a bit of a friend that I picked up during my running.
Yeah, if you didn't notice, I'm a medic. That's kind of my job. So you're welcome.
This is your handiwork, huh? Well, I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Very
sorry.
much so.
Can't do anything for your friend there. Don't know about robots.
Yeah, she's fine for now. She'll boot back up in a minute.
Well, at least we got breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I suppose, eh?
Right, we did.
You think those ants left, or they're just beneath us?
Ah, good point. Bishop,
Yeah.
did one get away? Or did you kill them all?
One of them seemed to go back into the ground, but probably was because it knew it was outnumbered.
Still, maybe we should keep fucking
Get out
off
of here?
what we thought of
Yeah.
earlier. Yeah.
I agree.
Ah, so much for rations. Okay.
Well, I mean, if you want to grab one of the ant bodies and drag it along, that's all you.
Yeah, sure. Never
I'll
have so
stick
much
to my
food.
MREs.
I'll grab 1218 and just drag her. It.
Do I still roll the 1d4?
Yeah, I pre-gamed that one for you.
Oh, that's what that. Okay.
Yeah. So as you guys are hoofing / dragging yourselves along this westernward road, kind of as you crest the hill of this little area that we've been in. Let's see here. Who has survival trained?
I do.
I do.
I do not.
I do.
I do as well, I think. But I'm still unconscious, probably. But yes.
I'm sorry. Next time I'll ask who doesn't. Wow. As you guys are kind of going back over the hill, it feels a little breezier. You notice that the storm was whipping around a little bit in those moments. It seems like it's whipping towards the west, kind of as you're beginning your travels overland again. After that afternoon of eight-legged mess, it starts to dim out a little bit as the night does approach as you travel westward, keeping an eye behind you on the storm. Actually, whoever wants to can give me a survival check.
Can help.
So, Ethan, you're 100% sure that this storm is fake?
That's right.
Still a little weary from the blood loss.
Yeah.
Chilling at 1 HP.
I mean, for that matter, like, you know, Bishop's listening to you, which I don't know right now if that's a good condition because he's drawing the same conclusion. Anders, Liam, you guys can tell that this storm is, if it continues in this pattern after this hour of traveling to the west, is going to catch up with you probably in the next 15 minutes or so.
Oh.
And you don't see Withervale in sight.
Shit, we need to find shelter fast.
Indeed.
Are there any like caves in the area that we can see?
So I don't have that overland map for you guys yet. It's very duned out. While it looks like there's a lot of hilly area, you do see a mountain to your northeast as you are traveling west on the road.
Well, there's no way we can make that in 15 minutes now, is there?
Yeah, it would definitely be a little bit of a pinch to make it down. While you don't see any habitable caves or like overhangs, there are hills. The sands are themselves duning, which could provide some cover.
Well, something's better than nothing, so...
That's close enough. So we hunker down, right? All opposed?
So, go ahead. And as you guys are trying to assess where to pick, where you're going to be able to deal with the least amount of incoming storm, you do start to hear a little rumbling underneath or behind you as well.
Oh, not again.
Liam, not you just because you haven't been in the situation yet, but Anders, given the way that the storms are moving and the rumbling that you're feeling kind of in the earth and like the little peaks that you're seeing above the sand, there's some sort of animal following after you through this storm.
Oh, shit. Like, is it actually following us, or is it just happened to be heading in the same general direction as us?
You can't really differentiate between the two of those at this point.
Okay.
The only thing that you have right now to go off of is it's underneath the storm, and the storm is moving on the path that you want to take.
That's it. Well, this is a pickle. I'm all for just forging ahead, trying to find, because we don't want to get caught in a sandstorm, do we?
That would be pretty awful.
As you guys are kind of...
Behind a dune will help, but if there's something following...
As you guys are kind of discussing this, the wind is just picking up at a crazy pace. You start to believe the rumors that you heard around about the weather just getting instantly kind of crazy. Like nothing you guys have seen before. It almost sounds like the sounds that you heard of the creatures coming out of the ground and things like that are carried further on the winds that are kind of now whipping around your face and making it hard for you guys to make out even, just the other side of the road, let alone the new friends that you guys have found. And the storm is making the sun that was already setting as you guys were kind of entering into the first battle. It seems to almost block out the sun and the glow from the clouds above you as it starts to get much, much darker. And you guys hear that sound, just more of it, more of the clacking and the scurrying, and it just seems to get louder and louder. And something directly in front of you, to the west, you hear a very loud, clear sound crack through all that wind. And you see a bright a bright, faded because of the sandstorm, but a bright flash come from directly in front of you. And you hear, "Get down!"
Getting down.
And you hear
Yep.
three more pops in succession. And you hear next you hear, "Not down, run! Don't
Running.
come here,
Run.
come to me."
Could you be a little bit more specific?
I didn't realize I
Bad
was
at
working
this.
working with idiots. Run,
The difference between down and run.
run with your head down.
Can do.
And you just keep as you guys are running towards the voice, you start to see a little more pinprick of a light. You're able to kind of discern where that's coming from, and probably, I would assume, head to the side of either side of that, as he's clearly shooting something behind you, many things behind you that don't seem to be slowing up all that much. And you come across as you come into contact with an older-looking gentleman. He's got a weathered-looking face. And he just, as you guys are happening upon him, you're about 20 feet away before you can actually see any part of him. And his hair is just getting whipped in. It's like a sandy blonde, you think. You're not sure. But it's getting whipped into the sandstorm. And he says, "We gotta go. It's getting dark. You don't want to be out here at dark."
Lead on, then.
And he seems to be wearing some kind of rugged, dirty-looking armor, but he looks to be Bishop. I would imagine you would be able to pinpoint a decent-looking gun when you see one, and maybe even some of the rest of you too. You know that what he's working with isn't garbage. And he introduces himself as he joins you, kind of pulling up the rear, and says, "Name's Emmett. You assume you know where you're going." And he, as you guys are running straight down, you start to see the road become a little bit more narrow. And the mountain to the right of all of you starts to look a bit imposing. It blocks completely out any sight over there, so you're assuming that's the mountain. And at this point, you're hoping that's the mountain. The storm seems to kind of meet that wall and just kind of kick around back behind you. And the skittering is getting a little more faded as Emmett's taking shots behind you. And you guys get closer and closer to the mountain. The road starts to curve north a bit as you start to see signs. It looks like signs that were all kind of cobbled together, various road signs and things like that are just making almost a funnel towards a dirt road. And even though the night is quickly setting on you, you see a dull glow just ahead of you, enough to see enough to light the nearby sign. It marks the boundaries of what looks to be a larger town. And just ahead, you can see two towers flanking a gated entrance to the town. And to your right, a sign that says Vale, Town of Opportunities. And Emmett kind of catches up to you. The storm is now, it sounds like, much further behind you than before. And he a little out of breath now. "All right, so who are you? I'm not gonna just let you come in, but I assume you got where you were going."
I think the first question is, who are you?
"I'm the guy that just saved your ass." "Are you all one group?" And he kind of pauses on each of you. You're all, it's a very
sort of just stumbled upon each other.
There's been a lot of saving going around lately.
Yeah, these these kind of people happen to get themselves in a bit of trouble with the Radscorpion and some ants. my friend here, being the stand-up guy he is, couldn't help but couldn't help but help them.
And it was mighty appreciated.
And I
Stand-up
wasn't
guy.
looking to get hurt.
You two, and he points at Bishop and Liam. You're less dirty than the rest of these guys. You look like you came from somewhere nearby. What's your story?
Well, I think I'll let Liam tell you that one.
Can't speak for you. I'm from the NCR outpost by Crater Lake. Come here to see the place, as it were. Get the word out.
You're Union Creek gentlemen, huh? Alright. I was expecting you. Not you three, though. And he turns to Anders and 1218 and what looks to be a very bad-off looking Ethan. But, well,
Yes.
we're not one to turn away people. You look like you're in need of some rest. Maybe some healing.
Indeed we are.
That'd be helpful, thanks.
Alright, well he turns around and you guys are pretty close to the two towers, and you can see at the top of the towers now that you guys have been slowly, as you're having this conversation, kind of walking towards them. The two towers stand about 20 feet tall, and they're surrounded by like a wood fence. As far as you can see around the town, it looks to be a sizable place, but, you know, again, it's pretty dark, so you're hard to tell exactly how far it stretches. But you see a guard on top of either tower on the sides of the gate, and you see Emmett raise his hand and make a strange-looking couple of movements with his hand, and then he touches the top of his hat, and you see the guards that were previously kind of pointed guns in your direction kind of stand at attention. And the gate starts to slowly kind of creak and open inward, and he says, "You're all welcome here, but we gotta get a few things straight first, so you stick by me, and we'll get you situated and set up for the night." And I think, if you guys are cool with it, this is where we'll take our, 5 to 10 minute break.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Get some drinks. Not those kind of
Woo,
drinks.
drinks.
Or those kind of drinks, that's fine too. I mean, one or the other.
We don't judge here.
You do you.
I'll do me, you'll do you, and we won't do each other for now.
Dun 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 dun.
Will do.
Alright, then I will be back.
Yes, 5 minute break.
Use Ajax. Boom, boom. Ajax cleans all bathroom surfaces up to twice as easy, twice as fast. Use Ajax. Boom, boom. The foaming cleanser. Boom, 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 boom. Gets things clean just
Ajax leaves no gritty cleanser some in tub or sink.
So use Ajax, the foaming cleanser. Flush the dirt right down the drain. Remember, Colgate's Ajax foams as it cleans.
Ajax cuts grease faster than any other leading cleanser.
Ajax polishes as it cleans. And it smells good, too.
So use Ajax.
Yes, use Ajax. For Ajax cleans all bathroom surfaces up to twice as easy and twice as fast as any other leading cleanser. Get 2 cans, one for the kitchen, one for the bathroom. Ajax, the foaming action cleanser.
The Lone Ranger. A fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver. The Lone Ranger.
This is a story of one of the most mysterious characters to appear in the early days of the West. He was a fabulous individual, a man whose presence brought fear to the lawless and hope to those who wanted to make this frontier land their home. He was known as the Lone Ranger. Before his coming, this new land of the West was a wild, unruly territory into which brave American pioneers moved in covered wagons, on horseback, and afoot. Theirs was a rugged existence, for they not only had to settle and build, they had to fight. Here, beyond the reach of law and order, might was right. The best shot was the best man. Born of necessity in this chaotic period of westward expansion, an organization was developed to combat the evil forces of the times. An organization called the Texas Rangers. Ever on the job of maintaining law and order, 6 Texas Rangers ride alertly across a western landscape. All are courageous, straight-shooting men. At their head is a stranger, a half-breed scout, who one day earlier had appeared at a ranger encampment, suffering from a severe wound.
Have you had your soup today? Campbell's, of course. Campbell's, of course. Well, look, the Campbells are coming. The Campbells are coming, hurrah, hurrah, with soup to delight you wherever you are. Scotch broth is so nourishing, good for you, so hearty, delicious, and thrifty, too.
Yes, Campbell's Scotch broth is a distinctive soup with a flavor all its own. Your steaming bowl is filled with tender, stick-to-the-ribs vegetables, barley, and lean meat, all simmered in a rich, tasty broth. Scotch broth is especially welcome on days when you're just plain hungry for a really sturdy, satisfying soup. Made for hearty appetites, it has plenty of get-up-and-go, vitamins, proteins, and minerals. And it's so downright delicious, you'll want to serve it often. Have you had your soup today?
There you are, Collins. Nothing to worry about now.
Thanks, Captain. I should worry about a wound. I'm lucky to be alive.
You're right. Very few people are after those outlaws that struck. So they killed everybody at the trading post.
Everyone. Mr. Simpson, his wife, the young Indian helper, even old Pete McHenry.
That's too bad. How about the outlaws? Any of them get shot?
4 of them were in pretty bad shape. They had to be tied to their horses to ride away. I got 2 of them myself.
Too bad you couldn't have hit more of them. Which way did they go?
They rode up north into the Badlands.
That's pretty rough country. But with wounded men in tow, they can't travel very fast. We got a chance to catch them.
But they have a 5-hour start. Even if you overtook them, they outnumber you.
Mister, the Rangers are used to long odds. How about you? You could use your help in locating their trail if you feel strong enough to ride.
I don't need 2 arms to guide a horse. Besides, I have a score to even up, too. I'll go along.
Good man. Boys, pack 5 days' rations. Got 10 minutes to be in the saddle.
Right.
Bill, send Captain Reed to me. He's leading your detachment.
Yes, sir.
So came the half-breed Collins, who rides with a detachment of Rangers after the most ruthless outlaw band in the West, the notorious Cavendish Gang.
It's their trail, Reed.
Yeah. And it indicates they're riding slowly as we figured.
Yes, it does.
Let's go, boys. Gained on them. These tracks can't be more than 3 hours old.
They're heading off into that canyon.
Yeah, it looks that way. Have you been in this vicinity before?
A couple of times.
I think it might be a good idea for us to check that canyon from the rim first.
I'll go ahead and scout the place. One man would be a lot less noticeable than all of us going.
All right. We'll wait here and give the horses a rest. Dismount, men.
Hold it, mister. Reach.
Hello, Whitey.
Oh, it's you. The new man, huh?
Yeah, it's me.
How's the plan going?
All right. The Rangers are back at the canyon entrance.
You think they'll keep on coming?
Sure, why not?
They're pretty smart hombres, you know.
Yeah?
We've tried to get them before. Didn't pan out.
I wasn't with you then. Where's Cavendish?
He's up there a ways. Leave your horse here.
All right.
Hello?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey, hey, hey.
I can't wait until we get our real DJ. This having to do it myself thing is for the birds. Okay.
Wait, there are birds now? Nobody told me.
Oh my god, I can't wait. I found a creepy, like, IRL bird that I can't wait to, like, shove in here somehow. Terrifying.
Seagulls. Have to be seagulls.
Close. Are we waiting on anybody to come back from break? Maybe some people?
Heard Ash yet.
Okay.
Sorry, who?
You.
Yeah, I've been here.
Alrighty. Alright. So, I guess we'll just assume everybody's back. I haven't heard everybody, but some people might be muted. So... we will... just give you some lovely little box text as we work on changing the map. So as you guys are kind of guided in by Emmett, you like I said, it's dim, it's harder to see, but the closer you get to town, and as the gates kind of open, they shed some light on the ground, and you kind of felt it as you guys were running. You heard your feet crunch. You know what that sounds like, having been in this area for a little while. Sand, gravel underneath your feet, dry air kicking up dust. The sounds start to turn into like a dull thud. It starts to feel like just a little wetter, maybe, more dense. Just the feel of soil, just regular dirt and grass under your feet is probably the very first thing that you guys realize as you start to step inside this town.
I'll be.
Yeah, I don't know if any of you are familiar with this kind of area or if you stayed around here, but it sounds like all of you came from different areas, came up from the south, so this might be kind of new to you guys. And even in the dim light of the moon, you can see that the area around this town, it has a bit of a blue-green tint to it. It looks like it's more alive than maybe anything else you guys have come across. As you get closer to the gate, you see on either side of the two towers, there are just some crude wire fences that are better positioned with wood planks in between them. Looks like they did some effort to make like a dual layer kind of fence. And up top, you see the guards that you saw pointing the guns at you, but you also see two behind them on each side, just kind of surveying the areas that look to point to the mountains. You see the slight outline of the giant mountains on either side of you as you walk into the valley that is Withervale. And we're changing the map. Hopefully you guys can see this. I forget I have to change it for the stream.
I see a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Yes. Feel free to grab your tokens. You guys are coming right in the gate there. So the two squares you see there are those two towers. And all you can really see, you see pockets of light, lighting various buildings. But Emmett seems intent on directing you towards that building that you see right in front of you there. And that is...
My token is below the map layer.
I cannot see. I can click it, but I can't see it.
Oh, fog of war.
Press I can click it.
We are having technical difficulties trying to fix it, but I'll just keep talking as you guys can probably figure out where your tokens are. We won't be on this map for terribly long anyways. Because he, like I said, seems intent on kind of rushing you. Not rushing you in, but definitely not letting you kind of whoa. Suddenly the sun's up and everybody can see. Not letting you explore. He seems intent on directing you towards this building. But you notice that the ground around you, it feels that dense soil.
Oh, jeez.
And it's squishy. And there, geez, giant bishop. Just all of you can only think about bishop.
Sorry, I'll have your token up in a second.
And he launches, he's just going to launch into stuff, and we might actually just kind of transfer you to the other map anyway, because he's directing you in there. And he goes into his, what sounds like his spiel. He kind of does a nod to the guards, and the gates close behind you guys. And he begins... if you guys wouldn't mind, officially, welcome to Vale. I'm not good at this. This is not usually my job, but y'all seem like you needed a little bit of rescuing, and that's kind of my job. This is where I live, and this is where I assume y'all are headed. It's where most people that get caught out in the sands out there. It's where they want to end up. It's a trade center out here in the North Waste. It's the biggest city I ever been to. And you can find just about anything you want here. If you're looking for work or, goods, this is the place to be for you, at least around here. And it seems like maybe some of you are looking for work, and it's a good place to be doing that, assuming you're on the up and up. And he kind of opens the door to the building. And you see, I'll try and move the building here. And you guys, it's not quite as barren as all this, but this is what you're looking at right now. Over on, let's see if we can get this on stream. Sorry, guys. Alright. As you guys enter in, it's not a giant building, but you got a big room in the front, and he kind of gestures you guys in. And over hereabouts, there's a desk and a chair. And you got some windows inside here, plain dirt floor. It's not completely barren of furniture, but it's slim pickings. There's a couple chairs over in the corner here. And directly ahead of you, out of this big room, you see two gated cells, basically. They look like crude jail cells with, a small table and what looks like some bedding inside of each of them. And, he says, first I'm gonna need you to kind of wait out the storm and talk to Brom. He's the guy that really gives the tours of Vale. But he don't like coming out at night as much, especially to meet newcomers, so I hope y'all understand. He's the one in charge around here, and I'm gonna have to ask that you just kind of wait in here. And he's like, it's not exactly a jail. I mean, I know what it looks like, but those are much softer beds than they kind of look. It's just a holding place, and at least you guys ain't out there dealing with that. I don't know how well versed you are. Some of you look like adventurers, but I wouldn't even want to be out there in that. So. And he kind of goes to the desk and grabs a pile of rags. Basically, he's like, I got some relatively fresh blankets for you. I know it can get kind of cold in here. And once first light hits, I'll make sure that Brom knows you're here, and he'll come greet you, give you the tour, and kind of answer any questions you might have. but looks like you guys could do with the rest. He's like, I hope you understand that I will have to lock you in, but you guys got bells on, fancy, and he points at the 2 white parts of each cell. And in there, it's like a little, like a drive-up window kind of thing, where it's got a shelf to it, but it's small. You can't fit more than like a hand or 2 out of it. And right above it, you see this little metal bell with a pull facing the inside of the jail. He's like, once you're in there, if you be needing something, you ring that bell, and I'll be right outside, kind of guarding you. So if you need anything, you just ring the bell and let me know. But otherwise, sleep well, and welcome. And he kind of he doesn't seem like one for small talk. He just kind of is like, okay, I'm done now. And he just kind of shuffles his feet awkwardly and kind of directs his arm. And there's 2 rooms, so however you guys want to split it up, if you guys all want to be in one room, it might be a little cramped, you think? But the 2 rooms aren't connected. That wall there doesn't seem to have any kind of window or anything on it. So if you guys wanted to talk, it'd probably be the doorway. You'd, be kind of talking through there.
So once we go in, we can't come out? And it's not a prison?
Yeah, it's okay, yeah, you got me. I mean, it's kind of our prison, but it's also our welcome center. It's just, look.
Oh yeah, real welcoming.
I know, right?
Had he not showed up, we'd probably all be dead in that storm.
That guy.
I think we would have made it just fine.
I don't know if that's your wounds talking, but you're reasonable, sir.
Thank you.
I'm saying, I'm sure you guys come from places where you protect your own, and that's just what we're doing here. We're making sure you guys are not coming to raid our city. Had some problems of late. Shouldn't have said that. That's not ready for me to say. Look, this is just a precaution. Come first light.
Sincere, I'm gun runner. You think we're really raiders coming to steal shit from your city? Come on, man.
Look, just 'cause you walk the walk and you wear the coat doesn't mean that I know your history any more than you know mine.
Anders just gets in one of the cells.
Yeah. The man's trying to be safe and protect his town. Don't give him a hard time for it.
Look, each one right on that table there has a fresh pail of water if you want to, have some water or, wipe up, whatever you want to do with it. None of that dirty stuff either. That there's good clean water.
Yeah, judging by the green hair, that's odd.
Wait till you see it in the morning. This place is beautiful. I mean, I don't know where you guys are coming from, but Wither Vale's about as beautiful a place as I've seen. I'm sorry we don't have any spare food to offer you right now, but that water and a good night's rest will fix you up some. And he just kind of he walks closer to the things and is waiting to lock the doors.
Ah, bloody hell. Okay.
Yep, and I'll be following behind Liam.
I'll go into the cell that they don't go into.
If I had a token for Ethan.
You could pull him on.
And I don't worry about it. I'll go into the cell with Liam and Bishop.
Seems like a real us versus them thing going on right now.
They're just they're playing it safe, protecting their town. It's pretty reasonable, I think.
Talking about the humans in one cell, the non-humans in the
Is
other?
Bishop saying this out loud?
Yes.
I'm waiting to see where everyone goes.
Emmett is looking only at his feet.
I just reckon they wanted some privacy, but, It's been a long day. Still kind of strangers, but it's better than being dead.
I think strangers would stick with what they know versus what they don't know.
Seeing 1218 just kind of standing there, Emmett will... just kind of give you the look and then kind of look at both cells and just kind of...
He's just standing there, hands at his sides. Like, I need to be able to watch all of them.
Hey, 1218, we'll be fine. Come on in.
Yeah, he'll be perfectly fine in here. Won't let anything happen to him.
Look, it's you either getting one of these or I put you back outside the gates, and I don't want to do that to well, okay, I kind of want to do that to some people, but not y'all.
I feel like there's a story there. Please tell me what's going on with that.
I'm sure it's a story for another time. Let's not upset these people that are showing us a kindness.
No. Hey, I'm in a cell. I'm doing what he's asking. I want to hear the story.
That was leveled directly at 1218.
Oh.
Well, he's gonna come in here just because there's more of a chance that somebody might not like the ghoul than the living humans.
Did they disarm us, or we still have all that?
So far, we have not been disarmed.
Ah, well, let us keep our weapons. So I mean, you can always break out if something goes piss out.
Hey now. We're guests. We don't talk about breaking out. Now tell me about the story. Shit, what was his name again? Like out of character?
No, I think in character. You're trying to use your wily charms. You're like, hey, so and so, tell me your story. Yeah. So he. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. As you reluctantly wheel yourself into the cell. Are you walking? I don't remember. How do you get around?
Yeah, he has legs.
Okay, cool. Thank you very much. And he turns to Bishop and is like, oh, my story. You're still awfully new. I don't know if I should go divulging this kind of... And can you give me you're trying to get him to open up to you, basically, yeah?
I'm basically using the charm. So he'll need to make that wisdom saving throw. The DC's 14.
Incoming to find out if you get Emmett. Well,
I think I do.
I think you do. All right. Oh, okay. Well, you got one of them faces. Besides, that's an awfully nice looking coat. You must have murdered somebody if you're not from the NCR. But,
No. I just get paid pretty well. Cost me a pretty penny, this coat.
I mean, I don't mean any people in Withervale. I mean, this is a really nice town. Brom will show you around. The people are all so nice, but... Well... I mean, I go outside the town quite a bit, and I've seen some things. And, I mean, between here and Sans Rest, I've seen some pretty terrible people doing terrible things. And if anybody's gonna deserve to spend a night out in the storms, it'd be them. Now, I don't know what kind of work you're looking to do or what you come from, but if you got some enemies, I'm just saying. I got some enemies, and I'd love to see them spend a night out there. I ain't never seen somebody come back from it. It'd be fine with me if they spent it out there.
And you're sure it's nobody from the city? Or the town?
No one here has ever done me wrong, I tell you that. If Brom determines that you guys are able to come in and out for work, you got a good piece of luck on your side. But, them northerners, just, Keep your hand on your hip is all I'm saying.
I'll be sure to keep that piece of information in mind. Thank you, Emmett.
And he just kind of nods his head down at you and tinkles the bell next to you guys. You need anything, let me know. And he walks outside and shuts the door. And so, what does it sound like now with you guys chilling? It's probably, I mean, it got dark pretty fast on you guys. You're used to darkness coming pretty fast, but with the sands and the battle and everything, you guys kind of got caught up in a whirlwind. So, it's probably only really about like 8, 9 o'clock, and you're tucked in real tight for the night. Got a few hours to kill.
So, and Desmond's whispering at this point. Ethan.
Yeah?
What's, well, actually, shit, I don't think you've actually stated your name. So,
Well, they were walking for a while, right? So.
Yeah, but basic introductions probably
yeah.
happened on that walk.
So, what's with the other two that you're traveling with? It's, are they keeping you hostage? What's going on?
Just
We
fellow...
can hear you.
I'm
they're
whispering.
fellow adventurers. We all had a common goal, so we decided to group up together.
Oh.
Safety in numbers, you know?
That's true, that's true. So, what's this common goal?
Adventuring. Particularly, there's supposedly a... what was it? What was the, like... Is it a scrapyard, you said?
Yeah.
And then, like a yet to be located scrapyard.
Yeah, you guys, both of you have heard tale from the NCR outpost, wherever you guys came from. You heard tale of a scrapyard nearby.
See, the funny thing is I'm actually looking for that scrapyard too. Gunrunners, while we still got materials coming in, every little bit of metal helps, you know?
Makes sense.
The NCR's got a big war coming on, probably. You could use that scrap as well.
I was just looking to do a bit of exploring, see what pre-war tech I could find. But, since we've all got a common goal, might as well be adventuring together.
Perhaps.
Just exactly how long have you been adventuring together?
Probably not more than a couple days.
Well, I guess we're all still new then. But, I may ask, why did you come in here instead of with your more recent mates?
Well, I've already got to know them. Haven't got to meet you yet. Quite simply.
Tell you what, man, that robot gives me the heebie-jeebies.
Oh, he's weird, all right. Pretty often talks about us being useless meatbags, but in the end, he's still here helping us, ain't he?
I suppose, but it just ain't right that something should last that long without needing some maintenance, you know?
Yeah, I suppose. Although,
I mean,
I believe
these
I've
days-
caught it doing maintenance on itself before. It kinda runs off its own.
It's smart enough to do that? Most of the robots that I've run into are kind of stupid and single-minded.
Same in my case, but this one seems to be quite different. It ain't your standard model Protectron, alright.
That's for sure.
I've seen pretty smart Mr. Handies myself, so nothing different than that.
But those are Mr. Handy's. That's internal programming on them. This ain't no Mr. Handy.
That's true. But if our guest here, or sorry, Ethan, knows him pretty well, then it's good enough for me.
You'll have to forgive me if I just keep a hand on my hip.
So what about, is it polite to call them ghouls? I keep forgetting.
Ghoul's name's Anders.
Ah, Anders. Is he pre-war, or is he, like, recent?
Oh. Haven't got to start doing much talking with him.
That's a shame.
Hey, Anders. You a pre-war ghoul? Pre-war ghoul?
Who's asking?
All of us?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a pre-war ghoul.
That's amazing. You must have stories to tell.
Must have been quite different.
What was it like before the war?
I was a pipe fitter.
What's
What,
that?
I put pipe. I was a plumber. A plumber and a mechanic.
Oh. I've read about those.
So maybe he knows more about your robot friend here.
I don't know shit about him.
Okay.
They didn't have them in pre-war days, whatever.
Well, they had him, but I don't know about this one. I've seen Mr. Handy's and Protectrons. Those are usually pretty dumb.
I'm right here.
We're not talking about you.
We're actually complimenting you. For that matter.
Yeah, you're quite unique there.
So, 1218. What are you?
A robot.
Good as answer as any.
Like, while all this is going on, this is like an out-of-character question. With ghouls, do they heal? Like, do wounds close? Like, do wounds close? Because he'll stitch back together if you need stitching.
I mean, you're looking at Anders, and he, while you know he took damage, you know he got hurt, you can't really quite tell what was there before and what wasn't.
It's not very obvious.
So you can by all means go up and start trying to patch what you think needs patching. I'm sure Anders would appreciate that, right?
Depends what he tries to do.
Because, like, it doesn't seem to like being idle for very long and needs something to do, something to fix. So he'll rummage, like, just start poking at your things. Like, if you've been together. Do you need anything fit repaired?
What? I'm okay.
Do you need to be repaired?
Look, I know I got holes, but these have been here. I don't.
Do you want them?
What the hell kind of a question is that? You don't know much about ghouls, do you?
No.
We don't really, the skin doesn't. I'm fine. I'll be fine.
I can fix it.
do what you can. If it hurts, I'm gonna kick you.
Fair. And he'll take out probably the sewing kit and just start poking around and trying to figure out it's not so much to be like, he's not creative, he's not trying to make you look better, he's trying to make you function better. It's more functional, so you don't have like flaps of skin hanging and getting caught on things, you know? Stuff like that, just trying to put you back into a more solid and cohesive shape.
Christ, you're making me feel like a Raggedy Ann doll.
I don't know what that is.
It's a pre-war toy. Don't worry about it.
Talking about like a Mr. Jangles, the moon monkey?
Yeah, something like that. It's more of a mess of stitching, and they look a little like me.
Oh, green dolls. Okay.
All right. So as you spend some time getting patched up by 1218's nervous repair twitch or something to that nature, it seems that tiny little cell in the other room is just enough room for Bishop, Liam, and Ethan to kind of spread out. Ethan, you probably need a little more room because everything hurts, just everywhere. Nothing's comfortable. But you guys, I would imagine you guys start getting rest, and there's not much to do in here. While the accommodations are nice, it's relatively warm. You are safe from the sandstorms and elements, and you have a fresh pail of water to share amongst yourselves. There's no, aside from what you brought on yourself and the idle conversation with your new cellmates, and in between cells, there ain't a whole lot to do. Could I have each of you roll a D100, please?
All 5 of us, or all 3 of them?
Everybody.
Sure, and while I'm doing that, is there enough light in here to read by?
I'm sorry, is there enough what?
Light in the cell to read?
Yeah, there's you got some light, so all the windows, there's a bigger window up front here, and then you got 2 coming in from the side. I mean, it's not great light, and it probably hurts your eyes, but you can read.
Cool. I'm going to pull out a old beat-up magazine from my bag, and just read that for a little bit.
All right, flipping through a magazine.
Yeah.
All right.
Anders. I've got something, a pre-war something or other. I'm not quite sure what to make of it.
Oh, what do you got?
And Ethan is going to hand you, or through like the, or attempt to hand you through the.
Yeah, we do a reach around, and I feel ya.
3 dark and slightly obscured Polaroid pictures.
Oh, these are photographs. You've seen a camera, haven't you? Come on.
Oh, I know the generals of what they are.
I used to repair those.
Not much more.
Well, I mean, I don't. Is this the technology that existed right before the war, or is this like old pictures?
Give me a. Okay, give me a give me investigation if you're trying to like figure out what's in the picture, give me a perception if you're trying to figure out, like, is this does this look like a recently taken picture or not? But you're looking for what the subject matter is.
I'm looking to see how old the picture is.
The picture doesn't look it doesn't look terribly beaten up. I mean, it's got creases. In fact, it looks like similar with that good of a roll. You've been around long enough to see, like, well folded up maps and whatnot. It looks like somebody meticulously kind of would crease this in their pocket and take it out again, and kind of the same kind of creases over and over and over again, like something they looked at repeatedly and then kept putting back in the same place.
Where'd you get this?
Just a bit of delving into various pre-war.
And to answer your other question, yes, Polaroids are as advanced as it got, and are the only kind of camera that you know to be around right now. But they're not super common, working well ones anyway. They can be purchased though by those with money.
Now I do want to try to see what's in these pictures.
All right. So you're kind of staring at him, and like I said, the light in here isn't amazing, but you're like zoning in, like one of those the eye things where you put it close and then you pull it away slowly, and you're like, I see it, I totally see it. Yeah, there you go. All you can really kind of make out are shadows, but you see more than just a dark image. Now you see what looks to be definitely trees. They're the shape of trees. In more than one of them. Two of them have the pointy kind of shadowy edges. And in one of them, you see like a definite curve in one of them. And the top half of the photo is a lot lighter than and then it hits the curve, and then it gets a lot darker. So two of them, you've got like what looks like trees or some kind of bushes or something like that. You can't make much out besides that. And the other one, you got just a definite light and dark with a curve to it.
Well, I don't know what these are pictures of, but it looks like somebody cared about them. Here, have them back.
Thank you. Take them back to the boss.
Yeah, as those.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was just saying, Liam's looking up after he sees those pictures and takes one out from his pocket. So you collect pictures, eh? Here, have this one. Hands him another Polaroid.
Alright. Can I make out what it is?
Do you want to make out what it is, or make up what it is?
Like, what's on the Polaroid?
Doesn't mean anything to me, but yeah.
Interesting kind of dog. I haven't seen one like it myself.
Your photograph is a lot better quality than the other ones you saw. It's very well, almost artistic. Not that you're terribly artistic yourself enough to have an eye for it, but you think it's pretty nice looking. It's a giant house with a very tiny dog in the front that looks like it's having a hard time breathing. It just is very... You can tell it's meant to be a small dog, but it looks larger than it should be, kind of ball-shaped. And it's got... it's wearing clothes of some kind. It's too far away for you to really tell, but it's wearing some kind of ornate something or other. And the writing on the back obviously says Cuddles at Huntington Manor, but it's written in a very very pretty, cursive, loopy kind of writing.
All right. Well, that's mighty interesting.
All right. And as this night is starting to wind down a little bit, as everybody's having their excitement over it, I don't know what this is. Let's share it with everybody. Which usually ends up being the best kind of research. We've got Bishop and Liam. They clearly know when they're settling in for the night. Anders getting poked and prodded with a sewing kit. As this brings the evening to the point where people are sleeping, I guess the real question is, are you all sleeping at the same time, or are you sleeping in shifts?
Well, y'all, you want to sleep in shifts, so just trust that we'll be safe in this town.
Yep. Bishop is definitely of the mindset of, well, we're in a town, we're locked up. If someone's going to try to kill us, it's not going to be too hard for them to do it.
I've never been one to sleep much anyway, so take a shift. It's no bother.
1218 only needs to go on standby for 4 hours, so he'll be up for night.
Anders is already snoring.
All right. All right, so as the night goes on, it's fairly uneventful. The light that you're reading from, Bishop, it's clearly light from the bright moon combined with some lights that were around camp. And so it's kind of moving as the night goes on. Some people's lights go out, and so, if you want to keep reading, you kind of have to shift around, or there are just going to be parts where you can't read. But you guys, the night goes on pretty uneventfully. The town doesn't seem to, have any parties going on or anything, but you do hear, some of you hear whispers around town, some a little more defined than others. But you guys overall can probably, you can take the benefits of the long rest, and then you still have about an hour or so to kill before the light comes up. But you can tell it's coming up, because you start to hear something that probably not a lot of you have heard, and that's like the sound of what is it, wildlife, maybe? You hear people shuffling, but you also hear something, you hear maybe drip, like lapping water, or somebody's playing in a pool, like a pool of water or something. You're not sure, but you hear some kind of water being moved, and I don't know if any of you have touched the water that you guys have next to you, but it's not you. At least you don't think it's next to you. But you guys got about an hour or so after your long rest to take your benefits as you see fit.
So, there's been nobody out in this side?
Sorry, ping again?
There's out on the other side of the cells, it's just been empty out here.
Yeah.
In general?
No one's come in. Occasionally, you guys, when you walked up, you saw kind of a very few wood planks, which you guess is their attempt at a porch, laying across the doorway. And you've heard shuffling back and forth, which you assume is Emmett. He said he would be right outside waiting if you guys needed something. And that's all you hear. No one actually comes into the building. Around you, I did mention there are some windows here. They are covered, but they're not covered super well. That's where you're getting most of your light to read, Bishop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think Bishop would have done something similar of dipping a canteen or a flask into the water, fill it up, drink it.
Okay, you're filling up your canteen with the clear water?
Yeah.
Alright. It's not a bad idea.
Never know whenever you're going to run into fresh water.
Yeah, that's a good point. Who of you are snacking on anything? If anything, did you bring some mac and cheese, Anders, into here, or?
Anders is eating some strange colored paste.
Lovely.
It looks like it used to be mac and cheese.
More just cheese than mac, I guess, huh? Cheese paste.
Cheese is a strong word.
Yeah. But
yellow powder and cardboard noodles.
Yeah, and Desmond cracked into an MRE.
Okay. Yeah, that'll make you look official, I'd imagine. Not only do you have the jacket, now you have the paraphernalia. Delicious paraphernalia. All right.
Yeah.
So,
Probably doesn't taste much better than what Anders is eating.
So, certain things have been dispersed to certain people that you may or may not have heard over the course of the evening. And you can see the faintest bit of light come up. Are you guys picking up any conversation? You know that Emmett said, come first dawn, he'd send Brom in to come and talk to you guys. You guys want to have a game plan of any kind, or you want to just all wing it separately?
I mean, wasn't really one of those things of, so what are we going to talk to him about? It was more of a, he's going to come talk to you.
It is very likely we are going to be informed of our situation.
Yeah.
I'm not much for talking to you smoothskins. So, I'll just listen in if you don't mind.
Alrighty. So, morning comes, and the dawn officially comes. You start to hear more and more people milling about outside, and you hear the voices a lot closer this time, and you hear like a little tinkering at one of the windows, and it sounds like the pebbles or something, and then you hear giggles and running away. It sounds like somebody nearby, probably little kids, just messing with people that they know are in there. And Emmett opens the door, and he greets you all, and he's just checking on all of you, making sure you guys are doing better. And he walks over, and you guys need any breakfast or anything before I go grab Brom? You guys sleep well?
Slept well enough, and some breakfast would be mighty appreciated.
Yeah, no problem. I got, and he reaches into his inside trench coat pocket, and he takes out what looks like a handful of crackers, and he holds it real tight, and he, this, I mean, it's not much, but it's, got some leftover hardtack if you guys want, I'll share. You dip it in some water, and you really, it's sustenance, basically, but, it's all I got extra. Some days out there, you'd be real thankful to have something like this. And he kind of puts it on the little ledge where the bells are. He puts a piece for each of the Bishop and Liam and Ethan. And he goes over to Anders, and he puts one down for you, like with his eyebrows kind of knocked together, and then nods. And then he slides it over, and looks at 1218 and is like, and just kind of leaves it there. I'm gonna go get Brom. You guys, yeah. You guys, you'll be...
We ain't going nowhere.
You guys will be fine. Obviously I'm not, I set another guard outside. If you hear anything going on out there, it's just... People know we got people overnight, so... And he, kind of walks out. And a couple minutes go by. And you hear two people talking, deeper voices, and you hear a set of two boots coming in, and Emmett comes in again, and next to him he's got a man that's a little younger, a little shorter, kind of long black hair, and he walks up to the gates, the cells, and he looks at each of you in there without saying much of anything, and he turns to Emmett and says, let them out. Emmett just doesn't really say much of anything. He comes and unlocks each of your gates, and he kind of just stands back towards the desk at attention, his hands on his hip, and Brom gestures you out and says, please. I apologize for the way that you were held overnight, but I'm sure you understand.
Perfectly.
Towns have to have a procedure, and we're just the same. But you all are free to come out. I would ask that you kindly keep your weapons holstered, until you are outside the gates of Wither Vale. Don't need to go making any of our citizens or our merchants uncomfortable for any reason. You are a guest here, and I'd like to give you a brief tour and find out a little more about you. If this is acceptable to you. I'm Brom. I don't like the word leader around here, but I tend to be the one that people go to for answers. I have been here probably since the initial founding of this area. It's been a while. We have a rather sordid history, but we've grown so much lately, and I guess I just became the de facto leader here. There are other people who are more knowledgeable than I am about the history of this place, but I'm the one that they go to protect it. With the help of Emmett and his men, we try to keep Wither Vale a safe community where people can get the things that they need and good, steady work, which is, I'm sure you know, a hard thing to do in this area and this day. And he kind of starts walking towards the exit, and he says, now I'm going to ask for a brief tour outside the gates of Wither Vale. It's daylight now, and the storms are usually more wild and unpredictable as the day goes on, so today should be fairly safe. But I would like to take you on a brief tour just outside. Inside will be later, assuming that, everything checks out. And he reaches into his pocket, takes out a pair of circular sunglasses and puts them on. And he walks out the door. And Emmett kind of gestures that you guys follow, and he's going to come up on the rear. Rear being rear.
Yep, I follow.
Yep.
All right. And you guys are outside again. You see a number of townspeople. You see a couple children around the side of the building that you guys were just in. And they look like they have handfuls of something. And they see all of you emerge. And as each of you come out, I'm not sure what order you're coming in, but once they see the lot of you come out, they just kind of drop what they were holding and scurry back deeper into the camp. And he walks up to the gate, and Emmett's behind you, and the gate's open. And you guys kind of start to walk out, and you see a little more of the area that's around, and he starts to give a brief description. You see the sign a little better lit than when you had come in, the sign for Withervale, and he gestures towards it as the beginning of his speech. Well, they call us the town of opportunities, and well, I like to think that that's fairly true. Like I told you in there, we try and offer people who come through help getting what they need, or help getting good, stable work. We hate to see the rough way of life take place out here. We like to think that we're a little more reasonable and rustic than those down south. They're a little more savage down there. And I don't mean to offend any of you if you're from there, but it's a different way of life up here. And as he kind of gestures around past the sign, you guys are looking around, and all that greenery that you kind of saw at night is just so much more vibrant. You look down at the ground, and you can see not just sand color, but just dark, what looks like dark black / kind of dark red soil. And it feels softer under your feet. And he says, I don't know what you know about this area, or where exactly you come from, but I don't mind being the first to divulge a little information about the valley. We've situated here between these two, and he spreads his arms out between these two mountains, and what's left of them anyway, because it's a defensible place, and we've been ravaged by the volcanic eruptions, but it seems to have made this land different than even a few hours walk down south. As you can tell, it's a little more workable. The land produces better quality food, better quality water, and that makes this town somewhat of a beacon, both for those looking for work and good, and those that are not. We are a small community. We have a few hundred here and another 100 or so between our nearby settlements. They like to keep to themselves and do good work, but there are those out there, just like everywhere, that, well, they want to take what isn't theirs and hurt us, hurt our people. I don't know your story, but I do want to trust you. And just like anybody else that's new here, I usually start by asking what they think they could do for us to generate some sort of good favor. I don't want to just assign you some task. I'm sure you came here for your own purposes. I would like to give you a chance to state those. And we don't have to go out of character. We don't have to go through all this again, but you guys can basically say whatever you want to him.
I fix what's broken.
I'm just going to kind of look at, like, Liam and Ethan and kind of give them the, should we really tell them?
I guess I should have asked, are you, those of you that came from the NCR way, are you wearing any kind of, like, patches or anything?
Yeah, wearing my uniform.
The full uniform?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm running standard gunrunner garb.
Okay. Hearing 1218 kind of say, you know, I fix things, and then looking at two clearly defined, like, gunrunner NCR people and their companions who seem to be standing in the group. He'll say, you know, I'm assuming the best from all of you. If you meant us ill will, you had an entire evening to do so. However, you also seem fairly capable, and he looks kind of towards Ethan, who looks like, I'd imagine, like your picture, well-weathered. You've got, like, adventuring gear all over you. You know, good weapon. He says, you all look well-weathered. You all look like you've been able to hold your own out there. And this settlement is many things, but we don't have many fighters. And what few that we do have need to stay here to protect our town. We do have an issue with a nearby raiding group. They call themselves the Electric Wolves. And he just kind of rolls his eyes as he's saying it.
Yeah, Desmond would be rolling his eyes at that too.
They think they're clever. The sandstorms nearby can occasionally cause electric surges, and because they're nearby, they thought it was awfully clever to call themselves the Electric Wolves. Even they're scared of the sandstorms, though. They are found, and he points off towards the northeast. Said, I assume, I don't know which direction that Emmett got you from. He didn't really give me much information. He likes to let me form my own opinions, but they're just north of 97. They've taken over what pre-war used to be called Crescent City, and that's their kind of stomping grounds. The area used to be a sprawling suburban kind of city area, and now they've pillaged everything out of there and just basically call that place their home. What we need, and when I say need, I mean that I would appreciate help with this. If you are able to help us with this, then I would be happy to accept you as a temporary member of our community. Meaning that you could come here, do your trade, at a respectable discount, and should you need a good night's rest, we would find your accommodations for that evening.
So, let me get this straight. You want us to go out and kill a group of scabbers? Bandits?
You misunderstand me. And he
scum.
He nods along with you when you say that. You misunderstand me. You barely know me, and I you. I am not asking you to risk your life to go and kill the raiders for us. They have harassed our town for years, pretty much ever since its inception. But recently, over the past few weeks, they have let up quite a bit. It all came to a point where they were coming and raiding and asking for our things. And it got to the point where they were asking for more than we were capable of giving. We fought back. It was a rather large battle, and Emmett lost a few of his good men in it. I'm not asking you to go and seek vengeance, but their recent lack of raids on our town has Emmett and his men, and myself, very concerned. We know that they didn't just disappear, and our best guess is that they're planning something larger. What I'm hoping that you'll be able to do is find out what that is.
So you're wanting reconnaissance, then?
Simply information. If you're able to obtain proof of said information, that would be even better, but I will take you at your word.
Infiltration's my forte.
I completely believe you. You look like the type that is able to get in and out of somewhere without causing alarm. This task, if you choose to accept it, should be fairly easy. get in, get out without being seen, preferably. I would hate for you to be found out, one, because they're while their name doesn't exactly incite fear, they are a formidable force. I would hate for you to either put yourself in trouble or bring the trouble back here immediately. They are just north of 97, like I said. It should be about a half a day's travel. Once you reach the beginnings of the suburban kind of outlook, you'll see more roads, more homes. That's when you know you're starting to enter into the EW territory. If you're willing to take this on, I can and bring back any kind of proof at all. I will make it worth your while in caps as well. I'm thinking about 100 caps each should be fair.
You had me at the notion of a discount.
Well,
But
then
caps
takesy
just only
backsies.
sweetens the deal.
Oh, come on now.
No, I never takesy backsies.
How about considering opening relations with the NCR?
And he turns towards you as you say that, and he says, he just kind of chuckles a little bit and like squints his eyes at you, and he says, "That is a conversation to be had, but this is a conversation to be had first. First, we must secure the safety of our town, and the NCR." And he kind of like pauses for a second and looks up, and he's trying to think of how to word it. He's like, the NCR haven't been terribly eager to assist us in doing so. Up until now, perhaps? And he kind of gestures at the NCR-looking people.
Indeed.
Well, and to be honest, the NCR hasn't gotten a strong foothold up here or at least not as strong as they would like.
The best way to do it, though, is with the native people, especially friendly natives.
Yeah. Hey, the more people who are using our wares, the better for me.
He kind of, as you guys are kind of discussing little bits of this, he'll try and give you a little privacy. He'll turn towards Emmett, and kind of do a little powwow with him about, just pointing in general directions and talking to him about what the day's plans are and what patrols are going on. And he's like, I'll give you guys a minute to discuss this. I have to discuss the day's patrols with them. Anyway. What are you guys thinking?
Well, I'm in. I don't know about you guys.
Likewise.
Someone has to keep you all alive.
Thank you for 18.
I'd laugh at that, but my ribs still hurt.
Keep the rest of us functioning, he says towards Anders.
You're lucky I didn't kick you last night.
Well, probably would have hurt you more than it would have hurt me.
I know.
All right, so
Anyway, let's.
Go ahead.
Are we dancing around this, or are we just gonna say yes?
I don't see a problem with it.
I say we take it.
Discounts and money. Can't get a whole lot better.
I agree with that.
And wiping out scum from the face of Earth.
Everybody's trying to get by. Some people just do it in a different manner.
Well, hey, maybe we can grab some cool shit from them.
There's always that prospect, isn't there?
Hearing you say that, Brom can't help but turn around and say, I would be careful if I were you. I don't doubt your capabilities, but they have the numbers. So just be careful. But if you're willing to take this, you have my gratitude, first of all, and I'm sure Emmett's. We will be patrolling as per usual here, and we would, Emmett will show you, and Emmett kind of displays the code or whatever that he gave the guards. It's a bunch of hand signals and things like that. That you would need to re-enter this area should you come at night again. But hopefully, one evening spent fighting the sandstorm and the creatures is more than enough to teach you that perhaps you should be hasty in your return. And I think
if
that's...
we're not back in a couple of days, just assume we're dead.
He just doesn't even comment on that. He just keeps his lips tight.
Pretty sure that was obvious.
Sometimes it's better to state the obvious.
And I
Chris, you do like to talk, don't you?
Sure, you're not a cat.
Of course, talking is what I do.
Okay.
And unless you guys have any other questions, I think that's where we're going to wrap it up for tonight.
Sounds good to me.
Yep, sounds fine.
Yay.
Woo, session 1!
Oh my god.
Level 1 hit points.
Yeah.
To answer Twitch, yes, more maps. More maps will be had for everybody. The viewers and you guys. Including an overall map. So you guys, next time I'll have something a little more concrete. But if you look at Google Maps, you should be able to kind of see a general idea of what I'm talking about. But obviously the land has changed. A little bit.
It's been exploded.
Just a little. But yeah, any questions about, like, character stuff so far? I know we didn't roll a ton, but there was a little bit of combat in there. Did anything feel extra weird? You guys have any questions?
Felt fine to me. Just let us know what our XP is, and we'll level up if we need to.
Yep.
Alright, so we are going to end this in the traditional way of us ending games, and we will give you guys a couple seconds. You guys aren't quite leveled yet, but like we usually end our games, we like to give you guys a chance to give each other a little bit of experience by nominating cool role-playing moments or exciting moments in general that you thought were in the campaign. Would you like to do so for your fellow players?
You want to play Cyberpunk?
If anybody else thought you did something that was notable or cool or stood out, comment in character-wise, anything like that.
Anders in general.
Yeah, the ghoul.
Give me a particular Anders moment, and we'll give Anders that extra XP boost. What Anders moment was your favorite?
When he died.
You talking about the time you're there for?
Immediately talks a big game and immediately gets knocked out.
Yes.
I think that's the most Anders thing that could ever have happened.
And then immediately continued to talk a big game as he woke that up.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. I would like to say kudos to Liam for doing the role of the healer and getting both people back up relatively quickly.
Yes, that was much appreciated.
Sorry, I third that.
Yeah, I think we're going to have a little bit of trouble keeping 12-18 up once they go down.
How many? What was it that you used to refer her or them?
The mechanics toolkit.
All right, Ethan's got one too, so we've got
and
2 options.
Desmond has one as well.
All right.
I didn't even think that was. I mean, that was the cool Liam thing to be the healer, but I loved the Liam rushes in. And then instant Liam regret.
Yeah, it's like, I go in to help. Oh wait, they're gone. Oh shit.
No, just help the Radscorpions. It's fine.
Not as planned, not as planned, not as planned.
Yeah.
Alright, so we got Liam and Anders. Get a little bonuses.
I will throw one towards 1218 for just the immediate, you are broken, let me fix you.
Yeah.
Like, with a biological being of just like, it's not how this works. And I'm sure I look like what's her name? I think her name is Sandy from Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just...
You are Frankenstein.
It's like stitching, because like that's not going to heal for me. I'm just going to be covered in thread for the rest of my natural life.
No, you won't get worse.
Unnatural life as it was. Yeah? Well...
It'll keep bits from being torn away.
What does that look like when you came up to him, by the way? What are your typical robot digits?
He has hands-ish.
Okay.
They have sockets, so he could literally, like, take his hands off and replace them with other things. But,
that's creepy and weird and cool.
And, can be utilized in whatever fashion that needs be. But, he has, like, clunky robot hands, but he knows how to, use the smaller tools effectively. So, stitching. You will find your stuff mysteriously not so mysteriously repaired in the morning.
See, whenever you started talking about, like, the detachable hands, I immediately thought of, like, you had a hand that you could just attach that's kind of like a miniature sewing machine. As you're patching up Anders, it's just a little sewing machine.
I'm pretty sure that's canon.
In and out.
Remote control hands.
They have those, like, portable, like, weird handheld sewing machine things. It just, like, plugs it in.
Yeah.
They figure, like, once stuff happens, then they could start actually building. Like, he could actually start building, attachments.
Alright. So we got 1218 with the itchy stitching. Liam rushes in and then regrets. And, Anders Chumbawambas it up. Apparently, Kyle. Alright.
What? I'm bad at typing, and I'm also bad at making witty things, and I'm also bad at grammar, because that gets up again. Although I suppose he's a ghoul, so that is fair game.
And I get that we just saw... And I get that we just saw Ready Player One, but it's Anders, not Enders.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. No, Ready Player One, Orson, never mind. The other, okay. I liked... Yes, please. Might be an object in the game now.
Oh, jeez, I haven't seen this thing since I was pre-war. This is a game I used to play.
Well, I appreciated, and typically this isn't how it works, but I want to, expedite the cool thing that's going to happen. So, Bishop and Ethan, I, unfortunately, am encouraging Bishop using something to try and get something out of one of the NPCs extra. Even though Emmett isn't terribly a chatty fellow, he appreciates the effort made, because nobody really asks about him. So,
yeah,
he appreciates the effort.
Well, he let a little bit slip of, I wouldn't mind seeing some people out there just like, wait, hold on, tell me a little bit about that, I want to know.
Oh, come on, if you had a sandstorm just right outside your door, wouldn't you want to chuck a couple people into it? See what happens?
Yeah, no, that's less people for business.
Oh, come on, man. For science? Really? Would just check a couple people out in the sandstorm?
For science.
All right, Anders, let's throw you out there and see what happens.
This is why humans are incapable of taking care of themselves.
Hey, now, I think Desmond took pretty good care of himself. It was Anders that went down first. So it's the ghouls that
it'll
didn't
be
take care of
Anders who
themselves.
goes down last, motherfuckers.
And for Ethan, you made the best impression, probably second to, or in front of maybe Bishop for Brom, because you're accepting the quest for much more noble reasons than caps and a discount. You seem to share his hatred of raiders and their lifestyle as well, and he appreciates that motivation because he knows that your intention is pure, whereas everybody else is really just going to get just enough. You want to knock them out, it sounds like.
Yep.
All right, and
Look, my hometown too.
oh yeah. And with that little boost.
Okay, so you guys killed successfully 7 giant ants and 1 Radscorpion, which brings you guys up to 280 XP.
Is that on top of the kudos XP or inclusive?
Hey, that's not my department.
Each of your kudos XP earns you a certain amount, and it's compounded by your level. So as you level up and you do cooler things, you get more XP, but it also costs more. But that means that the things that you did in the very first session actually kind of boosted you up. It hit you to about 25 XP each.
Okay, so in the original was 280?
Yes.
So 280 plus 25 is 305. Ding, level up.
Ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Yay! More things.
Huzzah.
More things. Ba, 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 ba.
But now you're heading out into the real.
And you're also, I apologize, I didn't, this is the one thing I missed on the sheet check. Didn't realize with the damage dice getting inputted for guns. I did try to bring it up in Discord that I was going to have junk ammunition be the primary feature of this area. Which it looks like you guys brought some pretty fancy rounds and like well-made stuff to that ant and Radscorpion fight.
But it looks like you expended most of that. So be careful. You might have 1 or 2 of them good bullets left. But most of what you have is your backup stuff now.
So is that like 1 dice left?
Yeah, it's 1. Yeah, it's 1 dice less on that area. That will be something parties will find out sooner, that this area doesn't have access to well-crafted or well-sped ammunition.
Well then, sounds like Bishop has another reason to be here.
I do remember you saying that, but I completely forgot about it when I was setting things up.
Yeah.
Dude, there's so many things going on. Yes.
Well...
And I wanted to have the full map, so I didn't have to say, yeah, you guys are going north-northwest, now you're going west-west, but north of you is this. So that map will be one of the first things we land on for session 2 next week.
Well, 1218's AC goes up by 2, so that should be helpful in having him not fall down.
Yeah, and I need to see what I got for second level.
A real question, because I took the overclocked feat. Says bonus action to dash, disengage, and make a shove attempt, or is that supposed to be or?
And.
I fought for that one, because I thought it was fucking cool.
Okay.
I mean, I get it. Like, the principle is you shove off of something and then gotta go fast.
I definitely had certain people in mind for like helping to push for stuff, and I was hoping you'd pick that because I'm like, how cool would it be? Just gets all robot ball of anger. I wasn't sure how you were going to be moving as a robot, though. I wasn't sure if it was like legs or, you know, little wheelie tracks.
He has legs. Because the wheels are a mod. Not like that.
Okay, so this is an interesting question regarding a second level thing for me. How are we doing reputation and and that kind of stuff? Because one of my second level class abilities is favor, which
Use the alternate rule.
Use the alternate. Okay.
Yeah, it should be right underneath. I think it's make a check to pull a favor.
Yeah, persuasion check with the DC set by the DM.
Unfortunately, the reputation rules that they had were too attached to the wealth rules because it was basically another form of wealth in terms of getting equipment, and there was no way to really separate them and keep the theme of both.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it just ended up turning into another currency, and I remember us discussing during session 0 how we don't want to really spend a ton of time with the inventory stuff. So the overall goal, including crafting and reputation and all that stuff, is to make it as integrated into the stuff as possible. Now, when you guys do start killing things and looting corpses and taking names, we'll see how awkward that all ends up panning out. But we'll try and make it as painless as possible.
This is probably just a silly question, but with the stuff like the duct tape and the glue, should I just look up like what a standard roll of duct tape is, like how many feet that is, and that's how much quote unquote it would be? Because I'm not even sure.
That's okay. Like the stuff for gear and crafting materials that don't have definitions, I will work on getting those definitions for you, and that is probably what I will use is the standard whatever. But I'll have that filled out. If I don't have it filled out by like mid next week, and you're like, I need to know how much duct tape I have, message me.
Hey, for 1218, that's a serious question. How much duct tape do I have?
Duct tape is important. Yeah.
And on that note, also, there are no weird questions, considering that this thing is hoopla-loopla in terms of the rules. I'm more than happy to field whatever's silly.
And it's constantly a work in progress.
Yes. So thanks for being patient with that. I mean, we could have just taken everything and tried to run with it, but every time we would read something, we're like, oh, that's not how it really works in there, though. And we can't really call it Fallout if we don't try and make it close. So, if you guys feel like, because a lot of you have a lot of experience with it, if you feel like something's just like, I don't think that's how it would work, feel free to make note in a respectful and, not assholey way.
No, I'm gonna be an asshole about it.
Well, Anders will. I'm hoping Ben
Anders
won't.
will be an asshole about it. Ben will not be an asshole about it.
So I remember something that was brought up last week during session 0 with Anders having come from a vault. Does he have a Pip-Boy?
It is non-functioning, but it is
okay.
attached to him.
Is that something that 1218 could put back together?
I mean, I believe it was discussed that there would be no functional use for a Pip-Boy in this campaign, so I'm happy to just have it be a cosmetic thing. That just, oh yeah, I've just got this fucking thing attached to my arm, and it's got hermetic seals, and it won't come off until I die, and I never died.
Yeah, you guys, for how broken this looks, 1218, this would be like your holy grail of fix-it. So, like, this would be your life's quest kind of thing, is you follow Anders around with your, like, hands tinkling, fingers together, going, I'm gonna fix that thing one of these days. But right now, no. And I don't even know if Anders really wants you that close to him and excited about fixing his Pip-Boy.
Just imagine, like, Anders waking up one morning and his arm is, like, across his lap, and he's just, like, pulled it open and just trying to put it back together.
Well, there's some terrible memories associated with that Pip-Boy, so he'd probably rather just leave it dead on his arm.
Cannot come off.
I mean, I'm going by the Fallout 3 lore of once it's on you, it's attached.
Kyle is literally like touching his arm, slapping, going, "No, it's like there."
Yes. No, it's right there.
That's what you sound like in my head.
Oh, great. Headcanon.
I have to ask, on Anders' like picture, what is that, like skin pulling in like groups across your head? It's so gross.
Oh, it's just I found the grossest thing under the zombie heads tab and just slapped it on there.
I'm like, at first from far away, I'm like, it's a bandana, and then I look, I'm like, oh god, it's like a star across his face. That's disgusting.
Yeah, you can definitely consider those flaps that have just fused back to my face. You don't understand. Anders melted over the course of like 20 years. Horrifying. Becoming a ghoul is terrifying, and I did the research, and it haunts me.
I can't wait to find out why you didn't want to be a part. You're like, no, hard pass. But why? Why hard pass?
Hard pass on
the
Necropolis?
Yeah.
That'll come out. That'll come out in the
cool
in the RP.
Yay. Alrighty. Well, if you guys have any questions about, moving up to 2, let us know, and otherwise we will reconvene you.
Oh.
Yes.
Do you want to? Are we rolling for HP or taking averages, or is it a choice?
I feel like being friendly, so you can have both. Roll, and then if you're below average, you can take average.
Well, that's actually extremely generous. Okay.
That's what Sean did, and we were all like, what? That's a great idea. Oh, shit.
That's a 9 out of D10.
Well.
For a D6, it's what, 4 plus your constitution is the average?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, then I'm taking average.
Yeah, I'm taking average.
I've got to head out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all.
Fun.
I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Same bad time, same bad channel.